She thinks women shouldn't vote. Women shouldn't have the right to divorce. She thinks that women shouldn't be able to work. She says these
I didn't say
crazy things about Hitler.
See, look, you know what's interesting about that part? Pearl, and I feel the same way, she wants to discuss the things that she knows and understands. I wish I would be criticized for things I actually believe. All the fucking racism, shut up. No one, and the thing, Jews think we're obsessed with. We don't think about it. If it wasn't for Jews constantly talking about canceling anyone who says the H word, then he'd be in the annals of history with Stalin and Mao, basically forgotten about. But they keep bringing him up. So then we go, what's this guy? Why is the H word so taboo? What's happening here? And Pearl's not even into or the Holocaust. It's not her thing. Like she said earlier, that's not her zone. Her lane is feminism. And as soon as Brooke starts talking about feminism, we get Pearl saying, "Based, I'm coming to life now. I can discuss this. This is my area."
You're putting words in my mouth.
Please don't interrupt. There's no rational argument with someone like this. And this is a mistake that my community makes, the Jewish community, very often, that they think they
Pearl
can
should
bring...
be like, do you smoke a lot of cigarettes or you just like nag at your husband a lot? Where's that voice coming from, Mrs. Smokey?
Facts to the table, that they can debate somebody like Pearl, and it's, you're going to get somewhere. You're not going to get anywhere. You're going to get somewhere only by shedding the light on this type of bigotry.
Wait, that's her point.
Yeah, that's our side. Shed the light. Have these odious creatures on all shows. Let them talk.
To expose someone like her.
Let me just
do a crazy person that she is.
All right, bro. Let me go back to Pearl. I
got the feeling that the people funding Brooke have told her the beats she has to hit, which is hate is on the rise. We need more education. We need to have a discussion about this. It sounds like she's checking off boxes. It doesn't sound like a sincere discussion at all. No one is being sincere in this except Pearl. Brooke is checking off her boxes for her list as her job, and Piers is making sure he saves his career by smashing her in the head with a fucking giant mallet.
Crazy person that she is.
All right, bro. Let me go back to Pearl. Let me just offer you some advice, right? Because I don't think you're stupid. Mm-hmm. And in the 2 appearances you've made previously on this program, I thought it was interesting. It was controversial in some ways, but actually a lot of people would have agreed with some of the things you were saying. There's no question about that. But you seem to know where the line was. Someone like Nick Fuentes doesn't know where the line is. Someone like Kanye West, who I interviewed after he went on some weird anti-Semitic trope nonsense. Kanye's been wiped out by what he did, or what he said about the Jewish people, because there are certain things where I am absolutely in support of the concept of free speech, right? But you can't go around telling Jewish people the Holocaust didn't happen as Fuentes.
That's
and people like Fuentes does say things like that.
But I'm not him.
Stop.
So
Great point.
Hi, this is Anthony Cumia.
Hello, I'm Gavin McInnes.
And together we're Compound Censored.
And we would like you to subscribe with this deal using this promo code right below me right now.
Do it, because it's very entertaining.
That's everything that the right has been saying about free speech forever. Saying there should be no, why is there a line? That's not what free speech is. Free speech is not the Rolling Stones are better than the Beatles. It's not non-controversial things. Free speech obviously includes odious subjects. It obviously includes hate. Free speech includes hate speech. What's the name of this, Gryon? Hate speech versus free speech. Hate speech is a type of free speech. Obviously. How could you have a show called Uncensored and not get that basic truth? But he just sat there and said that there's a line. The Jews have a line you're not allowed to cross. Is he like secretly based and saying shit as like an undercover like signal to her? Is he kicking her under the table? Because he sounds a lot like Nick Fuentes right there. He sounds like an anti-Semite saying they talk about free speech, but they've got this line you're not allowed to cross. And that is something you just can't do. Yeah, that's what the far, far, far right has been saying. Way righter of me.
Bringing me up, so it's like...
No, but when you sing a song,
Right.
And you talk about
Who
Hitler.
determines what the line is, Piers?
Well, I'm asking
Who determines?
you.
Do you get
I'm
to
asking
determine
you.
it?
No, I'm
Does she
asking.
get to determine
I'm asking you.
Who gets to determine what the line
I'm asking you
is?
to work out in your head.
I'm saying the
you're not
line-
a stupid person.
the line-
When you say I'm not
Dude,
saying
wait a
Hitler
minute.
was a good.
This is getting crazy. This is sounding like Piers is based. And he's saying, I want you to work out what the line is.
Yeah. And they're like, what are you doing, Piers?
There is a
Piers?
certain group you can't fuck with.
Piers, hit her harder. What are you doing, Piers?
You need to figure out the line. You need to do it because they're taking over.
This
And
is
they're
like,
Piers, what are you doing?
You're at the Holocaust and you're a Nazi soldier and you're leading one of the gas chamber and you go, would be a pity if someone tried that door to the right and noticed it wasn't locked. Which is it? Are all doors locked at all times? Is there absolutely no way out?
The door's meant to be opened, isn't it?
Like that one.
What are you trying to say? I don't get it.
Guy, but I want to know why. Right? When you talk about the more conspiracy theories about him I hear, the more I'm like, well, that's interesting. I'm just like agog that even now you don't seem to really grasp why singing that and releasing it to millions of people is incredibly offensive to Jewish people.
Or hundreds of thousands of people.
Okay, it's incredibly offensive to people. You don't think saying women shouldn't vote, which is her raison d'etre, that's her main thrust these days, that's offensive to 3.9 billion people. Well, actually, maybe more than that. I'm sure there's a lot of male feminists that are infuriated by that. That's saying women shouldn't vote. Well, now, wait, you got to include the Middle East. Let's stick to America. Saying women shouldn't vote is offensive to, I would say, 85% of Americans. These are 3% of the American population. So denying the is offensive to 3% of America. Denying women the right to vote is offensive to 85% of America. Where's your math, Piers?
Also, piss Christ.
Yeah, piss Christ. That was offensive to, I think 60% of Americans are Christian?
Yeah. Or, abortion being promoted on TV and movies.
Does free speech not include anything offensive?
I think at the end of the day, Piers, I don't think it's for you to determine what speech should be allowed and not allowed.
What about you determining? Why did you delete it?
Why did I delete it?
Because of the
it was just a
shitstorm.
headache, Piers.
Because you knew it was wrong?
It was wrong?
I just think
What is that?
It's like
He thinks
It's
it's a
not the
gotcha that she deleted it.
hill I'm trying to die on.
Right, but why did you choose that hill to die on?
I didn't choose this hill to die
know
on.
she was going to
You're
die.
gonna fucking die.
You released the video.
I also released 10 different videos about
but they're
10
not
different
all
other
basically.
topics
But they're not
that day.
talking about Adolf Hitler, are they?
Are we not allowed to talk about him?
You can talk
Speaking
about
of
Hitler.
again.
That was so sweet. Are we not allowed to talk about him?
Adolf Hitler, are they?
Are we not allowed to talk about him?
You can talk about Hitler right to the point you say the more conspiracy theories I hear about him.
Look, I think that anyone should be allowed.
No
to
one's
speak-
discussed any conspiracy theories about him. Like, there's obviously the spooky one is 6 million and the gassing. That's one. There's about 30 others. Why can't those be discussed?
about any conspiracy theory on social media. That is my point. It's not about Hitler. It's not
If
about
you
the
really believe what you
Holocaust.
did wasn't wrong, you wouldn't have deleted it.
That's a
wow.
shit argument. I'm so fucking sick of British people thinking they're smart. They are fucking retards. British education hasn't been good since 1970. This guy's arguments are beyond juvenile. Well, you deleted it, therefore you know that what you did was wrong. No, I don't want to literally die. Okay, not literally die, but I don't want to be fucking wiped out with a joke song I did.
Wow.
And she
Okay.
has
You
been
really-
all but wiped out.
Believe what you
Pause.
did wasn't wrong, you wouldn't have deleted it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Don't you think?
Okay.
I agree with Pearl.
Go on, bro.
If I may just say one thing, as an attorney, I have to say that I do agree with her, that I am a free speech purist. I think that even bigotry should be able to be spoken in the public sphere. But the problem of cancel culture is not against anti-Jewish speech. I think that's very clear. We see the scourge of anti-Semitism.
What?
What?
Anti-Jewish speech does not lead to cancel culture. You are not canceled. This is during the cancellation of someone who had on, I would say that Nick is an anti-Semite, yes. So this is during the cancellation of someone who had an anti-Semite on their show.
And Jewish hatred rising on the internet. The problem is that there's no consequences for it, and the way that private
Okay, first of all, rising. What's she talking about? 4chan, anonymous posters. Yeah, I guess you could argue that's rising because now there's people who can be anonymous and get on these esoteric sites and on the dark web. But as far as mainstream voices, you're toast, as is evidenced by the woman next to you on the panel who's about to never come back forever. You're watching someone in the dunk tank, and Piers Morgan is just about to throw the ball.
Yeah, and if you want to stop anti-Semitism, quote unquote, online, just stop this segment, apologize to Pearl right now, and be like, this is a bit much. We're sorry. But this perpetuates Jewish hatred or whatever.
Are there no consequences for it?
Canceling is they're going after pro-Jewish speech. They're going after pro-Israel speech. I can't tell you how many times I'm contacted by people, and often my own clients, who are shut down on social media for saying anything positive about Jewish people, about Judaism.
Well, slow down.
Wait, what?
You're not shut down. If you say something pro-Israel, you're not shut down by mainstream media. But if you want to do a talk supporting Israel at college, you will get shut down. But it's by your people, Brooke. It's by liberals. Leftists do not tolerate pro-Israeli speakers at university.
Or about Israel. Yet these social media companies are unequally applying their own standards. And, while they're, for example, shutting down COVID deniers, they are allowing Holocaust denial speech. They are allowing people like Pearl to spew her hatred. So if we are really...
Spew her hatred. You've clearly never even looked up this girl. You just heard that she denied the Holocaust and she hates neither of which are true.
Speech purists, and that's what we are saying that companies should do. They should allow all speech.
Yeah, I hear you. Listen, I would just say this to you, Pearl.
Unless it's incitement to immediate violence.
Right, I would say this to you, Pearl.
So we agree.
No,
Wow.
Pearl, I would say this to you in conclusion.
We're all on the same team now.
In conclusion, look, you deleted this, so you clearly felt
Stop
bad
saying
about
that
what
with
you
Neil.
put
Of
up.
course
You
she's the
wouldn't have
fucking farmer.
He's trying to give her an out, maybe.
He doesn't want an out. He doesn't want her back ever again. He just wants to make sure
He
she's not a
survives.
blemish. So the reason she's here is so when someone goes, well, you had Pearl Davis on, he goes, yes, and I had the next episode where I absolutely eviscerated her for her odious views,
You accept
for
that.
spewing her hatred, her bile.
You don't
And we got a real life Jewish person in there too.
accept it.
And I had a
just,
Jew on.
It's kind of a headache. I was like, well, it just
She already
seems like a
explained
lot of headache to me.
Right, or did you realize actually in that moment, from the visceral reaction
Third time
from
he
the
said
Jewish
that.
community, you crossed a line that you yourself should have worked out was there.
Look, at the end of the day, Pierce, the song was about freedom of speech. It wasn't one way or the other. The song was about why can't we have these conversations on social media, and why do I keep getting...
About why Hitler may be a good guy.
And why do I keep seeing people get banned on social media? My point is, I don't think there should be a line unless you're inciting violence.
Here's
It
the
would
line.
be a-
When he-
Wait,
when he-
Pierce,
He's made
would
her point very clear. She's a little girl. She's 26. He's probably 60 years old, and he's losing this ridiculous discussion about censorship.
People wear Che Guevara shirts. I'm sure people honor
You know
Mao
how many
Zedong.
homosexuals and blacks and alleged traitors that Che Guevara just shot in the head into a ditch? Isn't that offensive to Cubans and to anyone with a rational mind?
we agree on that?
Listen-
What, yes or no?
No,
Yes or no? Will we
here's-
agree?
Here's my point.
No, yes,
You haven't
no?
answered my question.
Okay.
I'm not saying Hitler was a good guy, but I want to know why. I want to know why what?
We can't have the conversation
She already
without
answered
being
this.
canceled by the left and the right. I just don't understand
The
why you guys
conversation-
added. You guys cut out the
Wait
end
a
of the
minute,
song.
Paul.
You did
Paul.
75. Okay.
The conversation about whether Hitler was a good guy. You want to have that conversation?
I think that
He murdered 12
I
million
think
people,
my whole
including
point,
6 million
my
Jewish
whole
people in the
point-
Holocaust.
My whole
Got that
point
out.
is we should
Hey, he said the thing.
be able to have that conversation.
But whether
on
he's a good
social
guy.
media. Yes, because it causes more
Do you know how many
commotion when you're
conversations there are about Mao being a good guy? Even Stalin, as he was exterminating people via Holodomor, the New York Times was talking about how that's a myth, denying it, denying a Stalin, and talking about what a great guy he was. And I believe the author of that won some sort of Nobel laureate, some sort of journalism prize.
Is it this?
If that's about Stalin, yeah.
Correspondent. They gave it. They gave a Pulitzer Prize 90 years ago for the work of Walter Duranty. It's charismatic chief correspondent of the Soviet Union.
Michael Moynihan is a great source for this whole controversy about the way the New York Times fucking blew Stalin during the worst of his regime. That's
starting
okay.
to censor people.
I don't agree.
Like, I think that's wrong. I think
don't
it's
agree.
wrong to censor anybody.
Okay.
Well, you know what? You can have
disagree.
that conversation. You had that conversation. You posted it. You haven't been cancelled. I've had you on the show because I thought you might with
You
time.
haven't been canceled. I'm canceling you right now. I'm throwing the softball we're at the end of the line here. I'm about to throw the softball at the dunk tank, and you're going down. But you haven't been canceled.
While you weren't paying attention, we shackled your legs to beneath the desk. We have our producers coming out here. We're going to cover you in lighter fluid.
And the thing about this, her cancellation from mainstream British media is, how do you prove it now? Like, no one's seen her since. She has not been on British TV since this appearance, right? But like, I'd have to go on Piers' show and go, hey, Piers, what happened to Pearl? Hey, Channel 4, what happened to Pearl? Hey, Vice, she was on Vice Media. Hey, Vice, why'd you stop having Pearl on? That's the only way you can show people this. That's the beauty of canceling someone. It's like a soap opera. People forget that character was part of the show.
Posted it. You haven't been cancelled. I've had you on the show because I thought you might, with time, to think about this, regret what you did, because you can. Clearly, you're not stupid. You do understand the offence it caused, and wanting to have the right to debate whether Hitler's a good guy is
never
just
said that.
cretinous.
No, I want anybody to be able to speak on any platform. That was the point of the song.
Yeah, don't put words in her mouth.
Let's leave it
Can
there.
I point out a nuance here?
I've got Brooke, I'm sorry. I'm afraid we've run out of time, but thank you for coming on the programme. I greatly
What a perfect ending. You're being
appreciate it.
censored.
And Pearl, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
That was great.
I like how at the end he's just like,
No, shut your Jew mouth. We're done with you. We don't need you
Can
anymore.
I just say something positive about here? No, we're out of time. So here she is talking since that episode about being canceled. It's really long. It's not my narrative. I shouldn't say not my narrative, not my medium. I like to get to the facts. This new generation, their videos are more chatty and do you like my shirt and please subscribe and merch stock and stuff. I want to get to the meat. But here's some of the meat towards the end of this video she did about my side of being canceled in hindsight. Go back to where I timestamped it.
Or single. Funny, but drama channels, tone, it's how you say it, you can't say that. Typically, they're led, or women, this is all feminine. And so typically they're led by either really controlling mothers that wore the pants.
Okay, just stop for a sec.
Their parents were
So, she's talking about all the guys, friends, and other media that stabbed her in the back after this, and she was noticing a pattern. The pattern is they're either women or the son of single mothers. And so she's noticed that this lack of loyalty and this need to cancel you comes from is a very feminine thing. I wonder if Piers Morgan is from a single mom. That would be pretty rare.
relationship or single mother
Pierce mom gone?
homes. And because basically this tells me that you were taught that that communicating like a man is bad. That's what that tells me. That you believe, and it's okay, you know, a lot, this is most of society, so it's not, this is like most families nowadays. But yeah, it shows me that you were taught that inherently masculine things are bad.
Holy shit.
Now, why do I think
His father died when Morgan was 11 months old.
Wow.
No, the fact that he was dead doesn't mean the fact that my mother raised me.
Oh, he had a stepdad.
I did have a stepdad, too.
That's funny.
that being rude, crass is a masculine thing? Well, you know, men in the bar, do they really, are they, polite to each other? Men in a locker room. There's a reason we have locker room talk. It's because when men get together, they make what women would deem inappropriate jokes. They talk crazy. And I think that's why.
That's enough of that. That's why men's clubs do so well. That's why Proud Boys exploded. Not because of the tenets, but because men realized how much they miss just being dudes. And I got to say, I forgot to mention this, but on Saturday, I went to McSorley's, the oldest bar in New York, probably the oldest bar in America, because America was sort of built east towards the west. And it started basically with New York and Boston and all that. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's the oldest bar in America. You have to order 2 beers at once. There's mice on the floor. There's no AC. It's
An
filthy.
Irish storyteller is called.
And I was there on Saturday. A friend of mine's son just turned 21, and we were hanging out there. It was 50% women. And I know some of the guys that work there, and I took one of them aside. I'm like, dude, what are they doing here? Do we have no? Can we not have one? I kept saying, can we not have one little nook, one little cranny? I said, when did you allow women here? He said 1970, but it was because we were sued, and we were forced to allow women. And 50% women. This place is a fucking dive. If you go there with a white shirt on, it's gonna have. They serve stout and draft. It's no types of beer, and so you're getting all dirty and stuff. Like, why the fuck are you here? And I noticed that at Nita Fashions once, I was getting sized up, and I look, and the next person to visit the tailors is a woman, and I said to Nita, not literally named Nita, but you know what I mean. I said to the tailor, "What are they doing here?" And he goes, "Ugh. Yeah, women, they like to get a suit now sometimes, and it's really hard because they keep wanting alterations. It's not like men where they just get it measured and then they're good to go. They're always sending it back, and I'm not trained to make a woman's suit or a skirt or something like that."
Like, if a broad goes
There's
into a barber
fucking
shop.
working there. Tattoo shops, totally overrun. The tattooists are female now. Barber shops, you got some lesbian coming in there for a crew cut. Now we have to really watch our jokes. We're not asking for a lot here, folks. We don't need our own Israel. We just want barber shops, garages. I think we still got garages. Dive bars, tattoo shops I've given up on. I won't even include that. And tailors. Four little spots.
You know, it's amazing though. After the church, like all the females that are at the church, they're not lesser than the men. They're just different. They're just womanly, and they're feminine, and they stick to their own. They're not going around like, "Hey, yeah, I'll see you on Thursday," and blah blah. Oh, what's that over there? They're just like, "Hi, how are you?" They're like feminine. They're real.
Yeah, even
women.
the Knights of Columbus, when we'd have meetings, well, not in New York, but at other ones, there's a girl thing. I don't even think they have a name, but they go to another area. Okay, I have 2 more things with Pearl. I know it's a lot, but I mentioned trigonometry. So she was booked to go on there, and then here she is. I guess they attacked her in this. Turn it up. These guys are all about free speech. Just
Women
like
will
Piers.
play the victims when they started it. Like, you can't hit a guy and not expect to get hit back.
That's interesting.
I think we should teach the women not to hit someone stronger than them. And they'll say, like, men are responsible for all the whores, you know? But I really think it's on the whores for being whores. I recently decided that women shouldn't vote.
You decided women shouldn't vote?
Yeah, that's a new opinion.
Why's that?
Okay.
I'll take one for the team, yeah.
Okay.
You should have the same opinions. You should be voting for the same person as your husband.
Why?
It's like, I don't know, you want to be in a house where you're arguing about politics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want someone who thinks differently to me.
You had a guy called Nick Fuentes that you interviewed.
Yeah, Nick. I did not find Nick to be racist. My staff actually did not find him to be racist.
He did say, "I am a bit racist," even in that. And in fact, in your apology, you said that he said racist things. What I'm a bit confused about is you did a whole apology, but it sounds like you're
stop asking me about this?
Ooh.
I want to see Dark Pearl.
Sunday, 9th of April?
What the fuck?
I'm getting on my
how
time
long ago
screwed up.
Are they in a different year time zone?
Yeah. I guess I got the time zones wrong. Didn't she have him on in like early July?
April 9th. No, this came out April 9th. Wait, what the fuck?
Someone's fucking up here. And it's never, ever me. So what's the link? Pearl Davis. So what's the date on that?
It. Like you can't hit a guy. You can't hit a guy and not expect to get
That's
hit
the
back.
same thing?
Yeah,
What's
4
the
months
date?
ago. Let's see, where's more? April 9th.
I'm very confused.
And
so when did she have Nick on? I guess I got it backwards. So she had Nick on. No, she was on Piers, and it was friendly, female. Then she had Nick on, and then she was on Piers. No, and then trigonometry tore her a new ass, and then much later Piers. Mate, that doesn't make sense. When did she do that song?
That one was kind of recent. That was just a couple of months ago.
Yeah, here it is. Here it is. So the confusing part was this massive jump from trigonometry to the song. That's what I got confused. So early March, she's booked on trigonometry. And then March, after she's booked on trigonometry, she has Nick Fuentes on. That's controversial. Then in April, she's on trigonometry. They had booked her in a nice way. Now they're attacking her, right? Then there's April, May, June go by. And she's slowly getting, I guess her cancellation was somewhat slow. And then in July, she releases that song where she goes, what is the big deal about everything? Why am I the bad person? I just had him on. Why can't you ask questions? And that's a week later, she's on Piers with Brooke Goldstein. And then that's the final nail in the coffin. So the confusing part was April was trigonometry. May and June, nothing happened. July, she put out the song and really fucked herself.
And this one?
Oh,
that's the trigonometry channel where they further vilified her.
Red pill is just basically seeing the world as how it is. And it's basically like, the way they describe it is blue pill is like the lies you've been told by society and like feminism.
Okay.
And you take the red pill and you see the world for how it is.
But go forward to the black chick.
I was on 3 different teams. So there's a girl.
So they just, this black woman finds go to the very beginning and you'll find the highlight.
Now on the pearl front, I have a few thoughts.
Can't wait to hear them.
Let me guess, they're really metered and open.
Who the hell is Pearl? Is people on TikTok?
All right, that's enough of that. I over discussed it, but it's just relevant to our world.
So if you enjoyed that clip,
then subscribe to Compound Censored using this promo code.